Hello there, my name is Ben. I thought I'd give you an update video because we're well into tracking one of the 4 albums to be released hopefully this year. The one we're working on now is the first album, obviously, to be tracked, and John's finished all of the drums in the States, so yes, John Q is drumming on it. A lot of people have been asking who's doing that, and John is drumming on it, which is very cool. Obviously it's brilliant. And then I'm tracking almost everything else, and there's a couple of special guests across all 4 records, and I'm not going to give too much away, but some are slightly more permanent than others, and you'll get to know them soon. We're also not doing credits, which is really cool. So when you get, these are physical albums, when you buy the physical album, you won't see, hopefully won't see names on them, so it's more intriguing, and maybe over time you'll get to learn who features where. But they're sounding huge. These songs were always songs that were trapped in this tiny little shell, and it wasn't right. It was, because surprisingly some of them are pretty good songs which were originally written for another purpose, and now they've been kind of repurposed. They're more important now, and so I treat them with far more importance. And 6 or 7 years ago I was new to all of this, and now, well, to the production world I was new. I've always been a musician, but to that side of it I was new, and now with equipment and knowledge, things tend to get better. So hopefully you enjoy that stuff when you come to hear it. But again, there's 4 albums this year, and they're all very different as well. I'll make one note about this, and I'm going to talk about something else in a minute about the street team, but which is quite important. But there was an album originally called Z3, but Z3, like 95% of that record, I'd written it for Zombies 2, and in the essence of time we moved some of it, well, all of it, to like Z3, bar 2 songs. So it's really nice to have those songs back and in their correct format and in the correct on the correct album, and they sound they sound really good. Sorry, I've just had flu. They sound great in the right format. And the only song that wasn't from the original Z2 was a song called Murder, which will be on XZ3. So Z3 is kind of a new album. I've already written for it, so the songs are done, just need to be recorded properly. So everything kind of got mucked up. At the end of last year I thought, right, I'm going to redo them all, because we've got time, we've got the cash flow to do it now. Let's just do them right once, and have 4 physical albums that you could get in like a little set stuff. I really like that idea, and so now is our chance to do that, and it's finally happening. And but well, the only note I'll say is that they'll sound different. The albums are different. One is pretty much the same within reason. There's a couple of quite a few things changed, but songwriting wise they're pretty much the same. But then Zombies 2, that album it's gonna sound like Zombies 3, because that's what it was originally, until we ruined it. But then then Zombies 3 is going to be a brand new record for you, and Zombies 4 is going to be almost a brand new record for you as well. There's a long way to go. So the other really important thing now is the street team. Now, I've been making a few videos for the street team recently, not very good ones, but that's about to change. You're going to put a lot of effort into the street team, and I want to give them kind of exclusive things to watch, stuff that I wouldn't necessarily want to put on YouTube, because it's either some might consider it dull or personal stuff. The first time this year I've been talking to the street team about my life and sharing things that have happened in my life, because it's been terrible. The last 6 months have been fucking awful. Not the only thing that's been good is like the career side of it, but that's the side that I don't give a fuck about really. But like the rest of my life is fucked. and they got to see that. Some of it, or I've heard some of it, but I want to bring them more kind of insightful in, you know, stuff and show a little bit of the process, because even with the documentary stuff, and there's a documentary coming out for portraits soon, that stuff is all, I guess it does show the process, but there's such interesting things. I always think that's so boring to talk about in a full-length kind of format, because they'd be like 8 hours long in that sense. But so if you aren't a member of the Hurt Record Street team and you want to be, you can get in touch with me or get in touch with one of the team guys, the HRST guys, and they can put you in the group, and you can watch some of that exclusive content, which won't be available publicly. I just thought it was a nice way of kind of battening down the hatches, because the other thing I want to say is this: where we are now, this is where I am now. For the longest time we were in an industrial estate in Crawley, then we had to move, because that was being repurposed into like a big office place. So between the Hurt office and here, and I'm literally sleeping in my car here, this is all I have. So, and I'm not this exact fucking room, but like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big kind of industrial, basically, if you're in the street team you'll know this, but at the end of last year, Fender and I, the guitar company Fender, we did a little bit of a deal for some intellectual property, some ideas, and I was going to gift them. I originally gifted them to Fender, and then they thought it would be politer or potentially more amicable legally in the long run to buy those ideas. So they gave me some pocket money, and I bought this place, and I'm going to renovate it. And right now it's brilliant, because we are about 2 miles. I can just about hear a road from here. That's a lie, I can't even hear a road from here. I think we're like 1 or 2 miles away from a road. That happens to be a busy motorway, but we're really, really far away. You can't hear it. There's no planes here. There's nothing, and so I get to record outside. I can record drums outside. I leave my drum kit outside all night. I mean, that's a terrible idea, but I do. And my guitar cabs are outside. My amps are with me in one of the bigger barns. But I'm tracking like a fucking homeless person, because that's essentially what I am now. And while I renovate this place, it's the 3 Sams, me and there's 2 other Sams here, and those 2 guys are guys from Cambridge actually, who you'll be seeing more of in the documentary thing. But those guys are embryologists. They're people who are observing embryos and the effect on the zygote and all that kind of stuff, and they're doing it literally around me. So in some of the documentary stuff you'll see them researching literally around me, tracking. It's really weird, bizarre. This is such a bizarre period of my life. It's fucking awful. Really is awful. Jesus Christ, how low they go. But I'm becoming more involved in that, and there's incubators and fridges. We've just repurposed a whole wing of that big barn for their research, and their research is I don't want to say it's illegal, it's unethical, I guess. That's why they weren't allowed to do it at the university. That's why they're doing it here, because I don't give a fuck what they do, within reason. But their experiment, their like research is experiments. I was getting a bit weird, but their research is fucking amazing. Like, these guys will win the world. They are brilliant, and I get a little peek at what they're doing. And just by chance, I saw an advert in a paper them saying these guys needed a big place to go, somewhere warm to go. And although I couldn't really offer warm, so we had to buy so many incubators. They're here now, and I don't think they're going to be going anytime soon. Kind of wish they would, but there you go. So on to portraits. Oh no, one thing before that. Back to the Zombies records. It's not just music. So what the old albums used to do would be like a bit of talking, bit of music, bit of talking, bit of music. And I guess the new ones kind of do that in a way, but there's a whole other thing coming at the same time, which will be released maybe the end of the year, maybe a bit before. It's finished. Well, it's almost finished. I just need to refine it. But again, if you're in the street team, you know what I'm talking about. I don't mean to be cryptic outside of the street team. It's just that a lot of effort went into it, and I wanted to be a bit of a surprise. And I don't care if the street team have ruined the surprise, but there's some really cool things happening here. And you know, this subject matter that we're talking about for the Zombies records, this used to be subject matter that I was kind of walking on eggshells when talking about it, because Although it was my original story, that was that intellectual property was taken. Not taken. It was lovingly taken and explored. But it meant that I was always wary about what I could say at what time. Now it doesn't matter because I now own everything. Everything is mine, and I have complete artistic freedom, which is brilliant, which is what I always wanted. And I always felt like these songs were slightly trapped, even lyrically trapped. So it's really nice that they get the chance to kind of breathe, and that's a big deal for me anyway, because I couldn't listen to these records until now. And even when I listen back to them, I think, fuck me, we could have done so much more. And now we have, there's real strings. Every song has complete drums. I mean, before there were real drums, I was playing them and I was kind of like a spastic. But it's not the PC term. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can say spastic. I'm fine. But there's loads of things that have changed for the good. And I'm so excited to bring you it. It's going to be really cool. So moving on to Portraits, Monad, man. There's a blog going up soon about go a little bit behind the writing process of Monad and some of the original intentions, which is I wanted to write an album that took you not just a few, but that took you a while to get into it. Because I've always found that in my life, the albums that take you the longest to get into are the ones that you remember the longest. They're the ones that stay with you. As one of the songs you can hear, you think, oh, I like that song, that's really catchy. A month later, who the fuck cares? It's the stuff you have to grow into that matures your tastes. And not that I'm saying Portraits will mature your tastes, but I'm saying that it may not appeal to you on the first listen. Hopefully it doesn't. If we've done it right, then you might think lyrically, this is like vapid, this guy's talking nonsense, like these lyrics don't even make sense. We'd have to be pretty non-astute to say that, but you know what I mean, or you just have no concept of what we're talking about, but you know what I mean, like the more you listen to it, the more you understand the little pieces of time that we're talking about. And my favorite thing to hear about Portraits is, why can't you two just play in time? Like they think that John and I haven't sat there for sometimes days deliberating about where specific hits go. Like they think that hasn't happened. Like they think that we've just lucked it and, oh, we just didn't play in time for this section. Brilliant. That's not quite how I work, and it's definitely not how John works. But I love that. That's my favourite thing to see. And I've seen it recently. We did a song for a game recently, and that old comment crops up again and again and again. I love it. But in the meantime, there's Pressure Fashions Diamonds, which you saw recently with Mel, who's fucking amazing. I think you'll agree. She's brilliant. She's got the most incredible voice, something you don't hear nowadays as well. A kind of really tight vibrato thing. Sorry, my hands are fucked, by the way. I don't know if you can see. I've got plasters all over my hands. My hands have been bleeding. We've been playing so much guitar and bass that they're just fucked. Like, I thought, well, maybe I'll get my hand strength back, and I got that back, but then my skin just is not. I'm too old to be doing this, apparently. I keep getting told I'm too old to be doing this. But my skin is too delicate, I guess, for the heavy guitar strings. But yeah, she's amazing, and it was such a pleasure to do that record, and hopefully we'll do more in the future. I know she wants to do a kind of acoustic-y album on her, which I'd love to produce. I think she's writing it now. I gave her a guitar, my old Ibanez, the one that's in the Heart Shop video. I just love that guitar, back when I was endorsed by Ibanez, and she's taken that, and hopefully is going to write some cool tunes on that. But that's available for free. Then I've got 2 songs, A and Dade, which are coming out soon, and it's just something I've been working on for a while. It feels so weird because I've been talking about these songs. These songs have existed for what feels like years. I know it hasn't been, but it's been ages. But they're going to be coming out very soon. They're already done. There's music videos being made for them as we speak. And that's it, I guess. Is there any more? We have had some good news recently about the endorsement program, because I've been endorsed by 3 different people. Mesa, who are people I've been working with for years, like I'm back and forth on one of their transatlantic models for years. I always loved it, and I used it on the Precious Fashions Diamonds EP. Oh, and actually, what you won't know, but you will see soon, is that the guitar I used for that EP, that guitar is worth over £1 million. It's not mine, but it's worth over £1 million. It's made of platinum, and I use that to track the EP. It's so fucking heavy. It's apparently the most expensive guitar in the world in terms of the raw materials, because normally the most expensive guitars in the world are like who owned it kind of thing, you know, the kind of heritage. But this is purely raw materially the most expensive guitar in the world apparently. And the guy gave it to me for one day. I had to have like sign all these things over for one day. It's going to be in a museum as of October this year. But I had it for one day, and I ended up tracking the entire EP, like retracking it. So all of the guitars you hear have £1 million guitar in my hands for, which is really fucking alien. It's a Stratocaster Platinum. It's a Strat Plat is what they call it, but it's fucking amazing. And there's a whole video coming on it soon, me just jamming on it, because that was a good night. I was literally, the guy gave it to me like midday on the day before, and then the next day he came to collect at like 2 p.m. I've been up all night just jamming away on this guitar, because what other chance am I going to have to play on that kind of guitar? It was amazing. But getting back to it, Mesa have endorsed me. I've got a guitar coming out soon, which is really cool, the Double N Ibanez, which is another endorsement I have, who I love. Ibanez, I've loved them for years. Most of the Zombies records, no, not anymore. Originally they were all tracked on Ibanez guitars, and they used to make a head, that I still have the head and cab. They don't make it anymore. It's called like the Tone Blaster or something, cheap, like not expensive. It's fucking amazing. Like, I swear it rivals some of the Mesa stuff, but I love Ibanez or Ibanez. That's a real honour. And then Victory in the UK as well. Victory have been making the most amazing amps. There's a guy I know called Rob who's doing really well in the kind of guitar world, and he recommended me to try some Victory stuff. So I tried the Countess, the Duke, and then this thing called the Kraken. Oh fuck, the Kraken is just it's just good. It's just very, very fucking loud, and the tone is incredible. It's not the most complicated thing. Like, I've got some Mesa amps which are just ridiculously, it's too many knobs. Like, for me, I'm simple. I'm a simple man, but mentally too. But this thing was just perfect, and I have two of them, so I have it in stereo. Zombies 1 has been tracked entirely, almost entirely on the Kraken, as well as my Marshall. I've got a new Marshall Mode 4. They're bringing the Mode 4 back this year, which is huge for me, because I've still got my Mode 4 from the original Mode 4s, but I've got this new toy as well, and I've been using that. So between the Kraken and the Marshall, I'm sorted in terms of that stuff. And there's a couple of other things as well that have happened, but I want to kind of keep them secret, which is I haven't done a kind of update video for a while, so I thought, fuck it, while I had 10 minutes I would do it, and probably longer than that now. I apologise for that. There's a Portraits music video coming soon. To go back to Portraits, there's a Portraits music video coming soon for what I think has become everyone's favourite song, and it was our favourite, so kind of our favourite song anyway, so it made sense to track that, and that'll be out soon. I think that is it. So if you want to come join the Per Record Street team, let me know, or let someone know, and you can get your hands on, or your eyes on, some of that exclusive footage inside the making of Zombies 1, which no one else will have. It won't be repurposed later into like a documentary. This will just be for you. You know, it was either that or doing live streams, but up here we don't have any internet. We have an internet nowhere here. Like, there's nothing. I don't even get a single bar of reception on my phone, so it's perfect. This is the ultimate for me, not having to see humans and existing entirely alone like some fucking weird psycho on a farm with people experimenting on mutant chicks. What is going on? Seriously, life is fucked. So have a good day, and don't kill yourself. Cheers.